me a comment. Let me know what you think about all that. And if you like anything else you see, like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, all that fun stuff. But now I want to get into a totally different but fun thing to do. So as many of you guys know, I don't really have a producer of my show. Well, I do. It's me. I'm the producer of my show. Every graphic you see that comes up, every thumbnail, every letter that's typed, the ticker at the bottom, everything that comes up, it's all me. And so a lot of times you'll see people like big commentators, Ben Shapiro or Matt Walsh, they'll react to woke TikToks. Well, they get the producers to bring them in, and then they'll be like, oh my gosh, like this is the first time you ever seeing this. Well, I don't really have that luxury without a producer, but I always think it's fun to get David's idea on what's going on with just the TikTok sphere and the woke people that push radical agendas on it. And if you've probably never seen these TikToks either. And so we're just going to go through some of these woke TikToks. I'll give some of my reaction, but I've obviously seen these. David, who is not necessarily the most in tune with TikTok.
No.
Or even necessarily as much of woke culture, will give his full ideas on all of this stuff.
But I do know that I have multiple personalities at times, so I could probably run the board over there if I actually channeled my inner Kevin Phares.
Well, we'll see. Well, we're gonna get these TikToks. So I got this one right here. We got multiple to go through. David, let's react to some of these and just let me know what you like. We're just gonna go through them and see what you think.
So this whole idea that bland food is good for you is absolutely 1000% diet culture and not actual nutrition information or research, because the actual dietary guidelines for Americans and the actual nutrition research shows that when people eat their cultural foods, it tends to be a lot better for them than when they eat white people food. And that's because traditional diets tend to be high in whole grains, high in lean proteins, high in fruits and vegetables, low in saturated fats, low in added sugars, and low in sodium. They tend to be flavored with a lot of herbs and spices, and they tend to be made from whole foods. And they just, in general, tend to be better for you. We also know that systemic racism is the reason that people of color tend to be more food insecure than white people. We're working on fixing those systems.
So it's systemic racism, DPB, that causes just what do you think about everything?
Kevin, where do you find these things? I mean, believe me, she obviously probably learned that in some college class where they sit around and they have this chat about how racist food is now. For the love, I thought we weren't allowed to make food racist. I didn't think that, whether that be fried chicken, watermelon, whatever. Come on, what are we doing? We're going back to the day. I love fried chicken. I love watermelon. Why doesn't it have to always be about a cultural virtue signaling issue? I mean, now I realize when I grew up, how foods started taking on personalities of people groups. That just doesn't even make sense. I mean, golly. Wow.
I just had to fix your camera right there. Make sure you're all in there. Oh my God. Well, and I totally get where you're coming from, but this is like things that DPP people actually believe this kind of stuff that, well, if you like, and I think a lot of this is fringe. Like, I don't want to act like this is every liberal out there, but there are people that are actually out there that think that you are a part of fat phobia diet culture and you're purported or you're pushing racism if you like to eat blander foods. So my buttered noodles that I like to have, apparently to some, I'm a ardent racist for my belief.
Send that TikTok to Ty Smith and have him on Cancel This or the Modern Renaissance Man. I'd love to see his reaction to that, gal.
No, I'll let you know. But
wow.
Here's another one that we got.
Okay.
Different outset here or setup on the TikTok itself, but this one's a little bit longer. I might end up cutting it down, but there's just a lot to break down here. Just David, be excited. This is a good one.
I can already tell.
Never seen a family like this.
We went from mother
and son
to father
and daughter.
That's right. This father and daughter used to be mother and son. 15-year-old Corey Mason, who loves mascara and lip gloss, was actually born a boy.
I always wanted to be a girl. I would always, go like this, like this. I was always girly.
And this is the woman who gave birth to Corey and 4 other kids. She never felt comfortable in her female body.
I definitely felt like a boy. I definitely felt like I identified with boys, but I didn't realize it was possible that I could actually be one.
It wasn't until 4 years ago when the two watched a TV special on transgender teen activist Jazz Jennings that everything became clear.
I said, wow, I'm just like her. I'm a girl trapped in a boy's body.
Corey started taking puberty blockers at age 11 to stop facial hair growth and deepening of the voice.
You know what that is?
This is the moment Corey received her first dose of female hormones. She's overcome with emotion.
Just seeing her courage and her bravery in the face of so much adversity, I think that's ultimately what gave me the courage to come out myself.
For Mom, the transition began with a short haircut.
Oh my God.
The 39-year-old then started injecting testosterone.
My voice has gotten deeper. I've grown facial hair, even though I shave it now.
Earlier this year came the double mastectomy.
Excited? Happy?
I felt like I was trapped in a woman's body, and just that mastectomy made me feel free.
The transition has proved difficult for Les Mason, who married Erica 10 years ago.
It's challenging because I married this beautiful woman, but I'm getting to the opportunity to see someone become who they truly are.
It's prom season across the country, and Corey won't be left out. The entire family helped pick out a dress.
You want it like big and poofy?
Ooh, yes, very. What you think?
Definitely.
Her little sister Ellen has a prediction.
She's gonna be a prom queen, I know it.
This is who she was meant to be. Definitely. No question about it.
And though Corey's mother is now a man, he'll never stop being Mom.
I love you, Mom.
I love you too.
Never.
So that was a lot in 2 minutes.
Normalizing mental illness is the way that we've approached this. Unfortunately, this is culturally is something that is taken off as the newest fad or fade. It will go away. I promise you. Bottom line is, I do believe this young boy truly believes he's a girl.
Well, and especially when you have parents that enable it, like so ardently too. Like it's like, well, not only, and it's not just that, oh, like you can dress up like a girl or be more girly. It is, they genuinely are pushing this idea that you can actually become a girl. Which is factually just inaccurate. You can't, no matter how many surgeries you have, how many, and this is an underage person who is taking hormones. Did you see that as well? I mean, like getting those hormones, the mom is enabling it as well. And there's a few things. First off, how sad for that dad, right? I mean, he says it and he's trying to be accepting because he knows he's probably got a gun to his head or something behind it. Obviously, I'm kind of joking there, but he sits there and he goes, obviously, I'm sad I married this beautiful woman, and objectively, she was very beautiful. Before the mom decided to transition. And he married this beautiful woman, and now is he gay now? Is that, I mean, in their world, is that how it is? Is that he's gay because now by their standards he's married to a man? Like there's just so much selfishness in this act. Right.
Well, and selfishness is stem from sin. The I in sin is I. It's all about I. I felt like a woman. Mm-hmm. I felt like a man. I. It's never about, and that's the middle letter in sin. And it is a sin. Obviously, you're messing with what God has put forth as you are either man or woman. But even more importantly, though, Kevin, in defense, once again, as I'll state this, you can rewire your brain. I believe that. If you tell yourself something long enough, because you can't change your chromosomal makeup. That you can't do. Mm-hmm. But you can truly recondition your brain. We see it throughout society right now. There are people, that's why I'm very sensitive to anyone who suffers with gender dysphoria, mental illness, because their brains, there's a plethora of reasons, whether it's chemical makeup, whether it's the food they're digesting, obviously not according to the food that the other TikTok gal was talking about, but I mean, because you become a zebra or something, according to her, from eating noodles, ramen noodles, you're a zebra. But yeah, I mean, my heart goes out to them because now they're impacting their children. They're exploiting their children.
Abusing. That's what I mean. I see it as child abuse.
It is child abuse.
And again, like I agree with you on the idea of we need to treat people that have severe mental illness with compassion. But to some people out there that might watch this, that compassion is not affirming and saying that, oh,
Yeah.
it's all normal, you're all fine. When
Yeah.
you have somebody who has depression, you don't tell them, oh, like you should be sad
I'm
all
not
the
going to
time.
celebrate your depression and your anxiety.
Exactly.
Or your stress.
Well, and when somebody's anxious, you tell them, okay, we understand you're anxious. Like that's it's okay to be anxious, but you don't want to be anxious. When somebody is gender dysphoric, you don't say you could say, okay, I understand what you believe, and it's okay that you believe that, but it doesn't necessarily make it right or true.
And I'm not going to celebrate it. You're
Exactly.
wanting me to celebrate something. I'm sorry. I get it. You know, you've obviously conditioned yourself and programmed your brain to believe that you're something that God did not create you to be.
Mhm.
He created the men and women. There's two sexes. There's two genders. Yes, that's what I meant to say. Two genders, two sexes. Then there's two sexes. There's male and female. The biology behind it, we know this to be true. Now, granted, all the ancillary, extraneous examples of men and women being born with different parts, those are so rare. Yes, there are genetic defects. We've known that in chromosomal defects, but at the heart of it, whether you go in the animal kingdom or the man and woman kingdom, it's XXXY.